Hi guys, this is Chantal again. Today I'm hopefully going to do a bookshelf tour with you all. There is a lot of books to go through today, so I apologise beforehand about the length. I know it's going to be a bit of a long one. If you sit through the whole thing, kudos, but if not, that's fine. I forgive you. I forgive you. Without further ado, welcome to the bookshelf tour. Allons-y! Okay, so that's the first bookcase. It's mostly children's, chick lit, young adult, romance. The next shelf is primarily fantasy. The last one over there is science fiction / supernatural. The shelving in the middle is DVDs, so I'll probably skip over them bits. This bookcase is fantasy and science fiction. Okay, we're going to start with this first bookcase. I probably won't get the top ones out because I can't quite reach it. We have got an extension added on top, and I'm 5'8", guys, and my head comes up to here. So I can't quite reach this, but I will say out the names. You've got Lydia LaPlante, Above Suspicion. I've got 2 copies of these, the other one's there. This one's Away Through the Woods by Catherine McMahon. The Burning by Jane Casey. And the rest of the Lydia LaPlante series is Blind Fury, The Red Dahlia, Deadly Intent, Silent Scream, Clean Cut. And then you've got Patricia Cornwell, which is Trace, The Lost Precinct, Blowfly, and then you've got the Mary Higgins Clark, which is Daddy's Little Girl, No Place Like Home, The Shadow of Your Smile, On the Street Where You Live, Just Take My Heart, Where Are You Now? Probably tell you a bit about these little guys here first before I move them. My grandmother loves elephants, so every time she goes travelling she always gets an elephant. This is her recent one. We got it when we were in Italy, I think. This one is. I don't know if you can see before it goes out of focus. There's a little baby elephant inside her. Oh. Okay, as you can see, this shelf is primarily Janet Ivanovich, and then you've got the Northern Lights by Philip Pullman over there. Okay, this series is the Stephanie Plum Bounty Hunter series. I started collecting these when I was about 16. So you've got 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get deadly, 4 to score, high 5, hot 6, 7 up, hard 8, to the 9s, 10 big ones, 11 on top, 12 sharp, Lean Mean 13 and Fearless 14. I love this cover, nice and shiny. Finger Licking 15, Sizzling 16, Smoking 17, Explosive 18 and Notorious 19. This is her latest Stephanie Plum novel, and I wrote a review on it on my blog, so check it out. And these 4 books, her like in-between novel novellas. So it's Plum Loving, Plum Lucky, Visions of Sugar Plums and Plum Spooky. I don't know which books they go in between, but it doesn't really matter because they're not entirely related anyway. This one over here is Wicked Appetite. It's her newest series, following a lady called Elizabeth. She's a baker, and it includes Diesel from these series. I haven't yet read it because, I don't know, I think I was too fixated on this series to get onto another one. And then you've got the 10th anniversary edition of the Northern Lights trilogy. So you've got Northern Lights, Subtle Knife, and The Amber Spyglass. Those 3 are by Philip Pullman. And then you've got Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. Oh no, get back in. And Amy Rogers' Epic Detour. Okay, the next shelf down is this one. These little guys are mine. As my nan's our favourite animal is elephant, mine is a turtle. I love this little guy. I got him in Sicily. I'm not even sure where that one came from. We'll start with the British author Robert Muchamore, his series, Cherub series, and the Henderson Boys. You've got The Recruit. They're so packed in tight, it's ridiculous. Class A, Maximum Security, The Killing, Divine Madness, Man vs Beast, The Fall, Mad Dogs, The Sleepwalker, The General, Bricken's MC, and the last in that series is Shadow Wave. These follow James Adams. He's the first person to be introduced to the Cherub series. I think he's about 11 here, then he gets to 18 when he graduates here. The whole series is fantastic, but The General is my favourite. It's like a war games book, it's brilliant. This is still Cherub, and it includes one of these sub-characters from this series. I think his name is also James, so this one's People's Republic, and Guardian Angel. Their last and the third book of this series is out this year. And you've got the Henderson Boys, which is like a prequel series to the Cherub series, and it's kind of like a how the Cherub series and how the Cherub organisation came about. The Escape, Eagle Day, Secret Army, Grey Wolves, and The Prisoner. There is another book out already, but I haven't yet read The Prisoner, so I'm not going to read the new one yet. And then you've got my sacred Harry Potter series. Sorry. So you've got Tales of Beedle and the Bard, which I haven't read, I just got it because it's Harry Potter memorabilia. And I'm sorry for the shaking screen. Sorry, but people have just turned it off right now. My tripod is not tall enough to reach here, so I've got to hold it with my shaky fingers. So you've got the Philosopher's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, let's move that way. Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire. This is my favourite, and you can tell it's well loved. Order of Phoenix, I can see that one, sorry, that's all. Half-Blood Prince, and then you've got, if I can get it out without dropping everything, Deathly Hallows. This little booklet here is the Conway Castle, kind of like children's information book. I used to go to Conway Castle all the time when I was a kid, and the woman recognised me so much she actually does give me it. And you've got, so you think you know Harry Potter, which is kind of just like a quiz book. Okay, down here you've got one of my favourite quotes from Harry Potter framed there, kind of sadly. And then you've got this shelf, which is mostly adult romance, rom-com kind of thing. You've got Faith Bleasdale, The Love Resort. I don't know what it's about because I haven't yet read it. Sorry. Carol Matthews, With or Without You. And then it's the Louise Renison. I've got only two books of hers. I did have them all when I was a teenager, but I lost them. So I've got Angus Thongs and Full Frontal Snogging, and It's Okay, I'm Wearing Really Big Knickers. Freya North, Pip. Maggie Allison, Pants on Fire. Pirate's Daughter by Margaret Caesar Thompson. Along for the Ride by Sarah Desson. The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. This is her summer series. It's Not a Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. Probably my least favourite is that one. I love that one, but I'm not too keen on this one. That one's good. Maggie Allison, Mad About the Boy. My favourite out of those two is Mad About the Boy. Marion Keyes, This Charming Man. I was given it by some random woman on the train one day. She just got up, gave it to me and walked out. I didn't even have time to say thank you. I haven't read it though. The Looks by Anna Godberson. I read it when I first got it, but I don't remember it, so I might have to read it again. These three books is Melissa Nathan, The Nanny, Acting Up, which is kind of like a up-to-date version of Pride and Prejudice, and The Waitress. Then you got My Mad Fat Diary by Ray Earl. Just did a review on it, I might put a link down at the bottom. Out of the Blue by Belinda Jones. These are all Belinda Jones up to that one. The Love Academy. Divas Las Vegas. I Love Godbury. On the Road to Mr. Right. California Club. And Cafe Tropicana, sorry. Divas Las Vegas is my favourite. It was the first one I got. I must have been about 16 when I got it. and it's very warm because I've read it so many times. It's definitely my favourite out of them two. The Carrie Diaries by Candice Bushnell. Summer in the City, which I haven't read. I need to get through that though, because I quite enjoyed that one. And then you've got my Meg Cabot collection. Okay. Right in the corner there you've got Jenny Colgan, Operation Sunshine and West End Girls. It's kind of like a bumper edition. I got it not knowing I already had Operation Sunshine on the little paperback. And then you've got Do You Remember Your First Time? I haven't read that one. And Where Have All the Boys Gone? I read that and I quite enjoyed it. Sophie Kinsala's Can You Keep a Secret and Remember Me. I got them both, but I have yet to read either of them. Then we're starting off the Meg Cabot collection, starting with Jinx, All American Girl, Ready or Not. Then you've got the Mediator series. The first one is Love You to Death, and then it's High Stakes, Mean Spirited, Young Blood, Grave Doubts, and Heaven Sent. Then you've got the Boy series. I've got 2 copies of these two because I was given one and I bought the other. Every boy's got one. 2 copies of Boy Meets Girl, and then The Guy Next Door. I heard there's another one of these, but I don't know. I've got to read up on it because I absolutely love this series. And then you got Queen of Babel, and then Queen of Babel in the City. In the Big City, sorry. I heard there's another one of these as well, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know. This is probably my favourite series of hers out in the children's, kind of like children's section. You've got When Lightning Strikes, Codename Cassandra, Safe House, Sanctuary, and lastly Missing You, my favourite. But definitely, if you're going to have any of Meg Cabot's, definitely get these ones. It's the Missing Trilogy. It's the Missing series, formerly known as the 0800 Where Are You? Tommy Sullivan is a Freak. That's upside down. Tommy Sullivan is a Freak. And then you've got the Size series, which is size 12 is not fat. Size 14 is not fat either. Size doesn't matter. This is my favourite adult series of hers. It follows Heather Wells, which she used to be a singer, and now she's kind of a detective when she works into the university dorm halls. It's very good. Then you've got the Princess Diaries series. I'm missing a few. I think it's the 1st and the 5th one. So you've got Take Two, Third Time Lucky, Mia Goes Forth, Sixational, Seventh Heaven, After 8, so they're down, To the Nines, and 10 out of 10. That's the last Princess Diaries book. Okay, my second from the bottom shelf is here. Mostly children's, except J.K. Rowling. That's just been shoved in there for some reason. Okay, we'll start over here. Stuck there in the corner is Fracture by Megan Miranda. I did a review on that on my blog. Again with this one, The Look by Sophia Bennett. The Girl is Murder by Catherine Miller Haynes. High Society by Ali Carter. I Love You But Then I Have to Kill You by Ali Carter. And then the second one in the Gallagher Girls is Cross My Heart and Hope to Spy. This series here is Elaine Ferguson. I don't actually know what it's called, the series. Oh, a forensic mystery novel. First one is Christopher Killer, Angel of Death, Circle of Blood, and My Dying Breath. The Dying Breath, sorry. I did a review on most of these books already on the blog, and this one, which is Slide by Jill Hathaway. I was very surprised. I absolutely love that cover. And then from here to here is a Spy High series I read when I was very, very young. I must have been about 12 when I started reading these. That one's Frankenstein Factory, The Serpent Scenario, the Paranoia Plot, the Soul Stealers, the Alienation Agenda, and these are all by A.J. Butcher. The second series, it follows each one of the Spy High kids after they graduate from here. And the first one is Edward Red, Angel Blue, Benjamin White, Celesta Green, Jake Black, and then you've got Agent Orange. The big yellow book is, of course, J.K. Rowling Casual Vacancy. I managed to read maybe 20 pages before I gave up, but I will read it again sometime. Pleasures of Men by Kate William. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I'm sorry. I have never read it. I didn't even hear about it until I saw the film. I got it because I wanted to read it. I have yet to read it, so I'll have to read that sometime. This too, I absolutely love. It's What I Saw and How I Lied by Judy Blundell. And then you've got Strings Attached, another Judy Blundell novel. For such a kind of mysterious author, these two books are fantastic. Then you've got The Agency by Y.S. Lee. Chris Manby, Girl Meets Ape, a very quick read. Got it free in a magazine. Sophie Kinsella and The 20s Girl, I've not read that yet. And then you've got the Kathy series, which is kind of unusual books. I might have to go into a blog of these because they were fantastic. And you've got Kathy's book, Kathy's Key, and Kathy's Run. The last bookshelf, right at the bottom, is books I was never too keen on, or haven't read yet, and they've just been shown at the bottom. I won't go into them because I don't want this video to be longer than I need to be, so I'll just scan them. The Looking Glass Walls I read when I was a kid, and for some reason I just didn't think much of it. Mallory Blackman, Boys Don't Cry, is actually pretty good, so I don't know why that's there. I used to love Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, but for some reason, I don't know, I just can't pick it up and read it again. Alison Knoll, Evermore, was probably a waste of money. I don't usually say that, but it was. I'm actually stood on a wooden chair, so if you hear a massive bang and a crash, you know I've fallen to my death. So over here you've got George R. R. Martin. These are his lesser known works, which is Fever Dragon, Wild Cards, Aces High, and stuck over there is Dream Song. And then you've got the Insider's Guide to the Game of Thrones. I got this for my sister's Christmas present, I think, and my grandmother got her this. George R. R. Martin, Lands of Fire, Ice and Fire, sorry, and it includes all the maps from the different lands. This shelf is primarily new books I've bought that I have yet to find a place for. So you've got Amanda Hawkins, Torn, and I haven't read any of these, so I do apologise already. Patricia Briggs, Frostburn, Amanda Hawkins, Ascend, and Switched. And then you've got the Priestess of the White series by Trudy Canavan. That's Priestess of the White and Last of the Wilds. Cold Magic by Kate Elliott. The Ambassador's Mission by Trudy Canavan again. You'll see a lot of her works because she's one of my favourite fiction fantasy authors, and I've already lost the dust jacket. Skinwalker by, who's it by? Faith Hunt, I haven't read it. Falling Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. The Yard by Alex Grecian. The Diviners by Liver Bray. I bought it a couple of weeks ago and I am looking forward to reading it. Karen Miller, A Blight of Mages. Terry Goodkind, Wizard's First Rule. And this one, I got it because the front cover is epic. Peter Brett, The Daylight War. Okay. This shelf here is mainly action adventure. I don't have many, and they're all by 3 authors. So let's get started on this one. This, from here to here, is all one series. The first one is The Hunt for Atlantis by Andy McDermott. They're all Andy McDermott's. The Tomb of Hercules, Secret of Excalibur, The Covenant of Genesis, The Cult of Osiris, The Sacred Vault, Empire of Gold, and Temple of Gods. The next and the final book is out this year, and I'm going to be sorry to see it go because it is a fantastic series. Ice Station by Matthew Riley. I loved these ones. I didn't enjoy that one, I have to admit. So that's Ice Station. Temple by Matthew Riley. There's a story behind this one. This is the first adult book I ever read. So I was 14 and I read that. And it took me 6 years to find it again, because it was a library book that I borrowed, and when I took it back they couldn't find record of me ever reading it. And I saw it instantly and I knew that's the book I read and I absolutely loved. And I do love it still. And then you got the Greatest Warrior series, which is 7 Ancient Wonders. That's the first one. The 6 Sacred Stones. And the 5 Greatest Warriors. That's the last in that series. These 3 are Tom Knox's ones. The Genesis Secret, Marks of Cain, and The Bible of the Dead. Robin Hobb, the Royal Assassin, and Assassin's Apprentice. I've read the first one, I think it's this one, or that one, I don't know. But I haven't read the second one. Huntress by Melinda Yo. Okay, we're coming down to the third shelf on the second bookcase, and it is fantasy. We're starting the fantasy sections now. This is my great-grandmother's jewellery box. I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and the song is my favourite. I found it kind of like tarnishing in the basement, so I saved it. So the first book, you've got Magician's Apprentice. This is a standalone novel, but in the same world of these 3 and the Ambassador's Mission. It's set in a couple hundred years before this took place. My favourite fantasy series of all time is these 3. And it's the Black Magician trilogy. The Magician's Guild, The Novice, and The High Lord, all by Trudy Canavan, my favourite writer of all time. And then you come across the George R.R. Martin Song of Ice and Fire. It's got Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, the Storm of Swords, Steel and Snow, Storm of Swords, Blood and Gold, Feast of Crows, and I think there's another one that my sister's currently reading. She's very big on George R. R. Martin, and she tells me I don't even need to watch the television show, she should tell me everything. The Red Wedding, yep, she ruined that for me as well. Then you've got Arabesque by Colin Mulhern. Oh, there it is. Sorry. She's reading the first part of this one, which is Dance of Dragons. I can't remember, but the second one is called After the Feast. That one. Shove that back in, this side. Then you've got Maria V. Snyder, another fantastic fantasy fiction author. This is the Touch of Power series, or the Abbey of Kazan novel. That's the second one. I haven't read that one yet, but this was fantastic. And then you've got The Sense of Magic, which is the second of that. Kathleen Peacock, Deadly Hemlock. I haven't read it yet. Fire Study by Maria V. Snyder. This is the third book of the Poison Study trilogy. I had the first 2 on ebook and then bought that one accidentally, but I need to buy the first 2, that's why the gap's there. Then you got the Stormglass trilogy. I wasn't a fan, I'm just going to leave it there. Stormglass by Maria V. Snyder, Sea Glass, and then you've got Spyglass. Okay, the next shelf of the third bookcase is here. Again, fantasy, epic fantasy, and probably supernatural just in the middle bit there. In the far corner, you've got Miss Peregrine's Home of Peculiar Children, Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Leonie Taylor, I don't know. Days of Blood and Starlight. I haven't read this one. I read half of that one, so I probably need to get on that. Angelology by Danielle Trussoni. Obsidian by Jennifer Lamont. Oh, Armentrout. I'm sorry. Jennifer Armentrout. Slated by Terry Terry. Didn't even know it was British until I read it. Kai Mayer, Arcadia Awakens. I tried reading that, I didn't get into it. Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. Very surprised with this and I absolutely loved it. Very, very good book. Second one comes out this year. And you got The Hobbit, of course, J.R. Tolkien. Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. Love this series. The Night's Watch by Sergei Lukyanenko. It's part of the Night Watch series, and I think there's Day Watch and another one that's new out this year actually. Afterlight by Alex Scarrow. I haven't read that one yet. The Wind-Up Girl by, here we go, what's his name? Paolo Bugliopoli? No, that's just stupid. It's right there. Glow by Amy Kathleen Ryan. Empire of Black and Gold by Adrian Tchaikovsky. The Strain by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. The Adamantine Palace by Stephen Diaz. The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. My favourite book. And then you've got Divergent by Veronica Moth. I'm probably going to cause quite an uproar this time. I have never read the Divergent or Insurgent series. My sister keeps screaming at me to read it, but I have yet to. Maybe one day. On this shelf you have again fantasy and a bit of fantasy over there. So you've got Cassandra Clare up to here, City of Bone, oops, City of Ashes and City of Glass. I honestly thought this series ended, it was like a trilogy, and then these two came out. I haven't read these two yet. My sister said they're absolutely fantastic, but because I thought they ended there, I'm kind of dragging my feet to read these two. So you've got City of Fallen Angels and City of Lost Souls. This is another series of Cassandra Clare's. It's set in the same world, but I think it's kind of like set a couple hundred years before. Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince. My sister's favourite series, but I haven't read it yet. Don't shout at me. Okay, and then you've got the Dark Novel Elite, or Dark Elite, sorry, series by Chloe Neal. Fire Spell, Hexbound, which is a very good cover, and Charmful. As far as I know, it's only 3 books. I've only read 2, so I need to read that one. Fire, Graceling and Bitter Blue by Kristen Cashshaw is probably one of those like it or hate it, sorry, and I loved it. So you've got Fire, Graceling and Bitter Blue, all set in the same world. These 3 shouldn't really be in this section because they're not fantasy, they should be in the adult section, but Kate Moss is another favourite author of mine. These 3 books, it kind of, I don't know, I didn't like them to begin with, but then I actually grew to love them. The Labyrinth, Sepulchre and Citadel. And then you've got the Inheritance series by Christopher Paolini. So you've got Eragon, Eldest, Brisinga and Inheritance. I've read all of them except Inheritance. I'm kind of saving it for a very, very rainy day. Okay, the second from bottom shelf of the second bookcase is here. It's fantasy. Yep, it's fantasy, except these 2. Got Hush and Crescendo. They're both by Becca Fitzpatrick. Okay, and then you've got Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi. I'm currently reading her second one, Through the Evernight. Gareth Nix. Again, I don't hear much about this series, but it is a fantastic, fantastic fantasy series. You've got Sabriel, Lariel and Abelson. And of course you've got the Hunger Games trilogy. So you've got Hunger Games, Mockingjay and Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. The David Eddings books was my favourite fantasy fiction growing up. This is his second series. These two are the first two of the first series, which is the Bell Garage series. So we've got Pawn of Prophecy and Queen of Sorcery. The second series takes after the coronation, the main character in this one, so I won't go into the story because they're obviously two different time zones. Guardian of the West, King of the Murgos, Demon Lord of Karanda, Sorceress of Darshiva, Seeress of Kel. Rider's First Call is the second book of the Green Rider trilogy by Kristen Britton. I've got the first book on e-reader. I need to get it on paperback because I remember loving it, but I haven't read this one until I read the first one again. Born at Midnight and Awake at Dawn. So it's Born at Midnight and Awake at Dawn by C.C. Hunter. I haven't read those one either. Sherilyn Kenyon, Infinity. Cinder. I really like this one. But it's a Lunar Chronicle novel by Marissa Mayer. Yes, I got it right. Marissa Mayer. Then you got the Ink Spell or Ink Heart trilogy by Cornelia Funk. So you got Ink Heart, Ink Spell, and then you got Ink Death, which is the last one. I absolutely love this edition. It's hardback. I think it's fantastic. Then at the end here you got Nicole Peeler, Tempest Rising. Again with the second bookshelf, the bottom shelf is kind of the no man's zone, so I'll just quickly scan. I didn't enjoy Shade's Children by Garth Nix, unlike his other series which I absolutely loved. Read Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, didn't think much of it. Oh, Charlie Boone! What is that doing here? Okay, I like these four, they shouldn't be here, and I like Jan Shan, that shouldn't be here. I haven't read Dan Brown. And that's it. Okay, top shelf again. I don't need to get on the chair for this one because it's just 3. And they're the Children's Encyclopedia, very old editions. And you've got my sister's Ration book where she keeps her secret stash of chocolate. Everybody knows that was in there, Emma. Okay, the second shelf of the third bookcase is primarily Kerry Arthur, and then you've got my horror section there. So over here you've got the Kerry Jensen series, goes up to Moonsworn. The first one is Full Moon Rising, Kissing Sin, Tempting Evil, Deadly Desire, Bound to Shadows, and the last one, Moonsworn. These are all by Kerry Arthur as well as these, so I'll just say the series names. Generation 18. I haven't read that one, so I can't tell you what's in that one. Beneath the Darkening Moon, Darkness Unbound, Mercy Burns, Destiny Kills, and then you've got these, which is one series. So you've got Dancing with the Devil, Heart in Darkness, Chasing the Shadows, and Kissing the Night Goodbye. Next on my horror section, which isn't very much admittedly because I'm a huge horror nut. So you've got Harlan Coben, Shelter, Helen Dunmore, The Great Coat. This book is probably the only book in existence that has actually scared me, and I read this when I was a teenager, so it's probably why. Barbara Erskine, House of Echoes. Long Lanking by Lindsay Barraclough. The Woman in Black by Susan Hill, it wasn't that great. Interview with Vampire, Anne Rice. The Dark Anatomy, Robin Burke. Ghost Stories of MMR James. I got this in a charity shop when I was 12 for 50p. Under the Dome by Stephen King. Antwerp Curse by Hans Holzer. Under the Dome by Stephen King. Carrie by Stephen King. Salem's Lot. And Doom McKee. My favourites, these 4 are my favourites so far of all of his books. With possibly Under the Dome being the favourite so far. But his new book comes out soon and I can't wait. James Herbert, Secret of Crickley Hall. This was a BBC adaptation recently. This TV series I love, so I'm going to read that sometime soon. And this shelf is J.R. Ward's, and then you've got the True Blood series. So over here you've got the Black Dagger Brotherhood up to this one, and they're by J.R. Ward. So the first one is Dark Lover, Lover Eternal, Lover Awakened, Lover Revealed, Lover Unbound, my favourite of all of them, Lover Revenged, Lover Mine, Lover Unleashed, and Lover Reborn. That's the newest one and it came out last year, so hopefully there's going to be another one. Okay, of course you've got to have that one on your bookshelf. And then you've got the her other series, which I think is Fallen Angels it's called. It's called Covert. I tried to read it, I will admit I tried to read it. I didn't get into it. And the rest of the books are Charlene Harris. This one is the trilogy, I can't remember what the trilogy is called. But it's Gravesite, look, 3 for £5, so I've got the whole series. Gravesite, oh sorry, Grave Surprise and Ice Cold Grave. And then you've got the True Blood series, because I absolutely loved it. I'm not so keen on the TV series. Charlene Harris, Dead Until Dark. Living Dead in Dallas. Club Dead. Dead to the World. Definitely Dead. I've got 2 copies of this for some reason. I think I was given this thinking it was the first book, but it's not. It's like the 5th. Then you've got Definitely Dead. Dead as a Doornail. Altogether Dead. From Dead to Worse. Dead and Gone. Dead in the Family. For some reason they changed the cover, I wasn't too keen on that. And Deadlocked, which I think is the last one. I haven't read it, that one. And then shoved over here is the Afterblight Chronicles, School's Out. I found this shoved down the back of a bookcase. As far as I know, this is the only one in the series, and it's very good, surprisingly. Okay, so the 4th book on the 3rd bookshelf is science fiction. Yep, science fiction. These little things, I do tend to keep a lot of travel ornaments and stuff lying around because I love travelling. Except these were from Lagomora, and I think my little cousin Sophie got these, so I'll just move that away. Okay, so this shelf is Kelly Armstrong, The Calling and the Gathering. So you got The Calling, and you got The Gathering. For some reason, I think I bought one thinking we didn't have this copy, and obviously we do. So I might have to get rid of that one. And then you got my favourite Kelly Armstrong series. I'm missing The Summoning, so I don't know where that is. The Awakening. And The Reckoning. With this series, there's about, I don't know, 12 books I think. But most of them follow a different person and I wasn't too keen on. But these first 2 have the same people in, so I only got those 2. Which is Bitten and Stolen. Then you got Firelight by Sophia Jordan, wicked cover, and then Vanish, which is the second one. Bloodbound by Rachel Vincent. Me and my sister are big fans of Rachel Vincent, especially this series, the Stray series. So you got Stray, Prey, Shift, and Alpha. Then you got the Chloe Nell. This series is the Chicagoland series by Chloe Nell. They're not in the right order at the minute because I think I've got some of these new. So you've got House Rules. This is the first one I think. Some Girls Bite. Twice Bitten. Hard Bitten. And then Drink Deep. And then you've got the Carol Goodman Incubus. And Rachel Kane's Ill Wind. And then you've got the Morganville Vampires. For some reason we're missing 2, 3 and 4. So the first one is Glass Houses. The second one is Lord and Miss... No, this is the 5th one, sorry. Is Lord and Misrule. Carpe Corpse. For some reason this is focusing. Fade Out. Kiss of Death. Ghost Town. And Bite Club. I know there is another one out now, or another 2, but because I've only read up to Kiss of Death, I'm not willing to buy any more until I've read these 2. Okay, the second from last bookshelf on the 3rd one is primarily, again, science fiction, supernatural. Okay, so in the corner here you've got Forest of Hands and Teeth. I did a review on this on my blog. I won't speak more of it because obviously I didn't like it very much. Carrie Ryan. The Night Circus is one of my favourite books of last year. It is a fantastic read. It's by Erin Morgenstern. Tempest by Julie Cross. Ink Exchange by Melissa Marr. I haven't read it. I think I read about 2 chapters and didn't like it, but it was only £1, so. Witch in Winter by Ruth Warburton. Me and my sister both got this book on the same day. Again, we've got 2 copies of that. We've got 2 copies of this as well. Same happened. By Hair of the Night by Helen Lowe. Philippa Gregory, Changeling. Dark Descendant by Jenna Black. Darkness Becomes Her by, I think it's Kelly Keaton. Yep, Kelly Keaton. And then you've got the L.J. Smith Night World series. I didn't like these. I thought it was a bit boring. So you've got Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness, Enchantress, Dark Angel, The Chosen, Soulmate, Huntress, Black Dawn and Witchlight. So I'll just quickly show you the covers. Very boring. And then you've got Heaven by Christoph Marzi. I don't know what that's about because I haven't read it yet. Dark Angel by Eden Maguire. Hellbent by Sherry Priest. Caitlin Kittredge, these 2, I think they're the same series. Nightlife and Second Skin. And then you've got the 2 Jennifer Armentrout series, The Turning and The Possession. Then you've got Wither by, I think it's Stefano. Lauren Di Stefano. I haven't read it, so I couldn't tell you what this is about. And you got Girl with a Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. I haven't read this again, but I got it for 50p. Spirit Gate by Kate Elliott. Sam Stone, The Killing Kiss. Bareback by Kit Whitfield. And Seraphina by Rachel Hertman. The Last Shelf, again, same applies to this one as well. It's books where I didn't like, but don't have the heart to get rid of. I don't think I even liked a single one of these, so don't mind just quickly scanning them. Okay, then you've got my desk, or should I say the family's desk. The pile, I won't see that because it's going to be in the June haul. So you've got Photoshop for digital photographs, it's beginner's book. Tattoo Showcase, my sister's. She likes to do art. She's an artist, and she loves doing tattoos on paintings. And you've got tattoos for girls and boys. I think they're just I don't know, fun buy for her. The Tattoopedia and Tattoo Source Book, really heavy. Myth and Magic. These books I love. I'm going to say now, I love movie art books. So you've got Myth and Magic there, and then you've got The Art of the Fellowship of the Ring, my favourite film. Tolkien's World by Bestiary. It's got all the beasts and names and stuff like that, it's very good. The Hobbit, this is the, not the full one, I think it's just the one that came out before anything else. John Ho, probably one of my favourite artists, he does dragon paintings. And you've got Barcelona Road Map and Mallorca Road Map when we go travelling. This shelf is my journals and where I do all my writing and stuff. My oldest one, I won't take them all out because some of them are falling apart. My oldest one is this one, I got it when I was 13. But each of these journals basically represent a story I'm writing. They always begin in this one. This is the idea planner that I've called it. And if I think they can progress further than the idea planner, then they get a journal. Maybe 3 of these are still blank, probably waiting for inspiration. But you've got, this one is my Lazarus Children book. This shelf is my books, which I will vainly showcase right now. I've only got 2 books out right now, which is Deadly Secrets and Power Within. The first, I always have like 3 copies of Deadly Secrets, mostly because they will be prototypes, as you can see. And there I will give it to different people to edit and to copyright for, sorry. I'm getting tired now. This is the hardback edition of my first book I got out, which is Power Within. This is a tin I got when I was in Marseille from La Cure Gaumont. It's just a collection, tin collection, that I've kept all my postcards. So you've got all my postcards where I've collected them. I always get one postcard every time I go away. And it's about a third full, so it's not too bad. And you've got some euros and some lira, foreign currency there. Then you've got my sketchbooks, because I'm quite a big sketcher when it comes to ideas. I won't show any of them because quite a lot of them are bad. Okay, my classic shelf, not very big, I admit to you all. But over here you've got Celtic Myths and Legends by, why is it focusing? Peter Beresford Ellis. I love Celtic myths. This one is actually really good because not only does it include Ireland and Scotland, but it includes Wales and Cornwall as well. It's very good. It's where proper Celtic lands before the Romans invaded. Okay, then you've got, like I admitted in my intro, I have a fair few copies of Jane Austen works. This one is Emma, my least favourite Jane Austen work, but I love the binding so I can't get rid of it. Pride and Prejudice, this was the first copy I got for high school. You got Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Again, Pride and Prejudice. This is my oldest book and it's about, I think it's about 80 years old, so it's a bit faded. Another Pride and Prejudice. And then you've got Jules Verne, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Frances Hodgson Burnett, which is The Secret Garden. Charles Dickens' Bleak House, my favourite Charles Dickens book. Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. Charles Dickens and the Great Expectations, and then you've got Grimm Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm. This shelf is primarily what I call neoclassics, or I don't know what else you would call them, I just call them neoclassics. The entire works of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I really like Sherlock Holmes. The Hounds of the Baskervilles was the first Sherlock Holmes book I read. The House of Silk by Anthony Horowitz. I tried reading this. I might read it again sometime. Sorry, there you go. And there's the Sherlock Holmes one. The Book of General Ignorance is a book from QI. QI is one of my favourite programmes. Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. 1984 by George Orwell. The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I read it for high school. And it's upside down. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Mario Puzo, The Godfather. It's my favourite film. Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Of Mice and Men, the standard John Steinbeck book that every high school teenager has to read. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. The Narnia series I got as a box set when I was 14. And that includes, I won't get them all out. Ow. I'll get the books out. And that includes The Magician's Nephew, which is my favourite, still remains to be my favourite. Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe, The Horse and the Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Trader, Silver Chair and The Last Battle. Then at the bottom shelf here are all the travel books we've collected over the years. Okay, the last bookshelf, thankfully. So we'll start here, which is crime, children's, and then you go into science fiction. Oh, it's Marseille fan. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? These 8 up to here are the Women's Murder Club. So you've got First to Die, Second Degree, nope, Second Chance, Third Degree, 4th of July, Fifth Horseman, The Sixth Target, Seventh Heaven, and 8th Confession. The Maximum Ride series is these 2. I know I had more, but I don't know where they are. You've got The School's Out Forever, and then you've got The Angel Experiment. This one here is Sunday at Tiffany's. I quite enjoyed that one. It's very strange. It's about an invisible friend and then they marry, so it's kind of weird. Oh, another Maximum Ride one. Saving the World and Love Extreme Sports. These ones are Alex Cross and like standalone crime novels. So you've got Run for Your Life, Worst Case, I Alex Cross, Kill Alex Cross, You've Been Watching, and Kiss the Girls. Okay. Over here we've got the second copy, like I said I did, Hair of Night, so I won't show you it, and Tempest Rising, got two of them for some reason. Rochelle Mead, Shadow Air, and then you've got the Stormborn series, which is Stormborn and Thorn Queen, and then you've got a Succubus series, which is Succubus Blues, Succubus Nights, and then Rochelle Mead's Iron Crowd. And then you've got the Vampire Academy series, the first one is Vampire Academy. We got this one, got this one first, and then got the second, the next two on ebook. But because I'm a bit of a book snob, I had to get them on ebook, paperback. So we bought the box set, which is Vampire Academy, Frostbite. I won't get them out because it'll take me ages to get back in. Shadow Kiss and Blood Promise. The next one is Spirit Bound, and the last one is Last Sacrifice. Fantastic series for those who haven't read it or are about to read it because they're freaking fantastic. Then you got the Twilight series, which is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer, New Moon, Eclipse, and then Breaking Dawn. Then you got The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which I haven't read. I have no idea what it's about. Breathe by Sarah Crossan, Joanna Harris Room Marks, The Gathering of the Lost. Oh, I do have this second book. So I've got Gathering of the Lost by Helen Lowe. Beautiful Creatures are just kind of like staying up there because I haven't read it. So you've got Beautiful Creatures by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll. Then you've got the Demon Trappers series by Jenna Oliver. So you've got Forsaken, Forgiven, Forbidden, and Foretold. I've only read the first two. I really enjoyed them, but I haven't got like enough steam in me to read these two. Feed by Mira Grant. This has been sat on my bookshelf for over a year. I haven't got around to reading it. Brave Witch by Kaylin Price. It's upside down. Engraved Out, which is upside down. Okay, the next shelf here. We're nearly done, like, girls and guys. Nearly finished. We've got right in the corner here, She's No Fairy Princess by Christine Warren. Which I can't really see very much, I apologise. Better Part of Darkness by Kelly Gray. Dante's Girl by Natasha Rhodes. Wicked cover. Big Bad Wolf by Christine Warren again. The Sweetest Scent of Blood by Suzanne McLeod. And then you got the Shiver trilogy. So you've got Shiver, Linger, and Forever by Maggie Stiefvater. Cursed, A Werewolf's Tale by David Wellington. Nightshade by Michelle Rowan. Shaolin Kenyon by which is Born of Fire. Day Hunter by Jocelyn Drake. Red-Headed Stepchild by J. Wells. Kitty Goes to Washington by Kerry Vaughan. Caitlin Arkian, it's Low Red Moon. And then you've got the Dark Academy series, which is Secret Lives, Blood Ties, and Divided Souls. Defiance by CJ Redwine. Oops. Caitlin Kittredge, Pure Blood. And then you've got the Marjorie M. Liu, I think it's the Hunter's Kiss, series, which is Iron Hunt. Can't really see that very well. Darkness Calls. First book of the Uglies. I absolutely loved this book, and I don't know why haven't got the others. So, Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. And you've got Pegasus and the Flight to Olympus by Kate O'Hearn. And Pegasus and the Flame, which is the second one. Shadow of the Dragon that's the second one. So Shadow of the Dragon, Kira is Kate O'Hearn, and then the second part is Elspeth. And then you got Night Mist. I'm sorry if you can't see this, but the lighting is really crap. Light Mist, which is Yasmin Galehorn, and then Night Veil by Yasmin Galehorn again. Okay, second from last bookshelf. So you've got these 4 books by Thomas Emerson. The first one is Zombie Britannica. It's a standalone novel. It is very, very funny. Very, very good. These 3 are in a series. The first one is Prey, Scarlet, and then Maneater. Midnight's Daughter by Karen Chance. Amazon Inc. by Laurie Devossi. Amazon Queen, which is the second one, by Laura Devossi again. Love in the Tower of Dragons by Katie McAllister. Playing with Fire. Then you've got Raised by Wolves by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Lord of Bones by Justine Mask. Splendor Falls by Rosemary Clement Moore. Blue Diablo by Anne Aguirre. Paranormalcy by Kirsten White. Touch of Dark by Karen Chance. The Red Riding Hood, which is like the film novel by Sarah Blakely Cartwright. Laura Adrian's Kiss of Midnight. Nightwalker by Jocelyn Drake. Passions Unleashed by Larissa Ione. The Sight by David Clement Davis. Once Bitten Twice Shy by Jennifer Radin. Magic Bites by Iona Andrews. Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. Virginia Andrews' Daughters of Darkness. This is the only first one, the only book we've got, that one. Solace by Gail Carragher, which is a wicked cover. Sunshine by Robin McKay. And Secret War by M.F.W. Curran. The last shelf of the fantasy and the last shelf of the fiction books I have is Angel by L.A. Weatherly. Kitty and the Midnight Hour, which is by Kerry Vaughan again. Blood Rights by Kirsten Painter. Name of the Start by Maureen Johnson. I've yet to read this, but my sister keeps telling me it's very good. Dante Valentine, the complete series of Le St. Croix. Never Bite a Boy on the First Date, which I absolutely love the cover of, by Tamara Summers. Black Magic Woman by Justin Gustenis. Then you got the Blue Bloods series. So the first one is Blue Bloods by Melissa De La Cruz. The Van Allen Legacy, Masquerade, Misguided Angel, and Revelations. I love that tattoo. Lonely Werewolf Girl by Martin Miller. Blood and Ice by Robert Marcello. By Midnight by Mia James. And you got Wolfsbane by Andrea Creamer, and then the second one, Nightshade. Then you got Partials by Dan Wells. I know the second book is out this year, so I'll have to read that. Colin Gleeson's The Bleeding Dusk. Witchling by Yasmin Gale-Horn. Magic in the Blood by Devon Monk. Oh. Sorry by Zoran Devakar. The Hunt by Andrew Fukuda. And the last one, The Iron Duke by Melgen Book. So that concludes the book tour, bookshelf tour, sorry. I'm a bit tired, my arms are killing me, so go and have your drink, you deserved it, and I'm going to have a cup of tea now, thanks. So thank you for sticking through it, and I've enjoyed it immensely. See you next time.